Bret Easton Ellis, American Psycho. Welcome to the confounding world of American Psycho, a chilling exploration of the excesses and moral bankruptcy of 1980s Wall Street culture. In this summary, we delve into the life of Patrick Bateman, a young and disturbingly jaded investment banker whose existence is a harrowing blend of luxury, superficiality, and violence. Set amidst the opulence and moral vacuity of high finance, Bateman's story is both a vivid critique of consumerism and a profound examination of a fragmented psyche. Prepare to journey through the vivid depictions of Bateman's social circle, where status is defined by style and nihilism, and witness how this backdrop serves as the fertile ground for Bateman's dark impulses. This narrative does more than recount crimes, it unravels the very fabric of the society that breeds them, offering a sharp commentary on humanity's capacity for detachment and brutality.
The Illusions of American Psycho. Welcome to the cutthroat realm of 1980s Wall Street, a world where young investment banker Patrick Bateman navigates his superficial life with a chilling juxtaposition of privilege and violence. Inspired by Dante's ominous imagery from Inferno, the narrative opens with graffiti that heralds the despair awaiting in Bateman's universe. Bateman embodies the quintessential Wall Street yuppie, wealthy, attractive, and deeply cynical. His days are a cycle of workouts, lavish dinners, and fleeting romances. We first meet him in a taxi, en route to a fancy dinner at his girlfriend Evelyn's place. Evelyn, who shares his financial success, serves an extravagant sushi meal. Despite suspecting Evelyn's affair with his colleague Tim Price, Bateman seems more vexed by the presence of unkempt artists at the dinner. The evening ends with him delivering a speech on America's societal woes, rife with irony given his indulgent lifestyle. Day to day, Bateman lives in an upscale Upper West Side apartment, maintaining a meticulous grooming routine and regularly socializing with his equally hollow finance peers. Their gatherings revolve around shallow discussions, from business style to inappropriate jokes about marginalized groups, over drinks and cocaine at upscale venues. Disturbingly, Bateman's greatest distress comes not from morality, but from envy over his colleagues' superior business cards, reflecting his obsession with status. Author Bret Easton Ellis expertly paints this world of Wall Street executives where materialism reigns supreme, with Bateman as its tormented prince. His material worship extends to idolizing figures like Donald Trump, and viewing others, particularly women, as mere objects for pleasure. Bateman's peers share this disdain, as they casually spew prejudice and violence. In one unsettling instance, a colleague casually discusses the notion of murder. Through Bateman's unreliable perspective, riddled with confusion and mistakes, the unsettling transition from verbal cruelty to physical brutality is seamless. As we delve deeper, hints of his violent tendencies emerge, a serrated knife casually noted in his pocket, or a disturbing enjoyment of violent films. His veneer of normalcy unravels further during a dry cleaner visit, where he complains about a blood-stained shirt, not completely cleaned, a subtle nod to the savage depth beneath his polished surface. Ellis's portrayal of Patrick Bateman is a stark critique of R.A. Consuming the void. Patrick Bateman navigates a world of hollow sophistication, consumed by material excess and emotional emptiness. His days are a cycle of meaningless interactions, whether he's dining with colleagues, hitting the gym, or browsing for entertainment. The backdrop is an era of glitzy consumerism, where luxury brands like Gucci and Brooks Brothers become markers of status in his yuppie bubble. Yet, beneath this veneer of success, lies a chilling detachment from reality. Bateman's life is saturated with sensory overload, the relentless buzz of prescription drugs, cocaine, and cigars, alongside a steady stream of pop culture indulgence, from horror films to trashy talk shows. His attachment to media deepens, as he finds solace in music, obsessively dissecting the works of Genesis, Whitney Houston, and Huey Lewis and the News. Amid this clutter, nothing truly satiates him. His relationships are transactional and devoid of genuine connection. With Evelyn, intimacy is rare, prompting him to seek out mistresses who endure his manipulations and deceit. Courtney, his colleague's fiancée, is another conquest, a testament to his disregard for others. In public, Bateman's cruelty knows no bounds. Offering false hope to a homeless man, he ends the encounter with brutal violence, reflecting an inner void that even bloodshed cannot fill. The question of satisfaction surfaces when a college student asks him to name the saddest song he knows. His response, "You can't always get what you want," by the Rolling Stones, speaks volumes of his internal struggle with insatiable desires. Bateman's existence critiques the consumer-driven culture that defines capitalist America. The relentless cycle of acquiring and discarding, whether objects or experiences, leaves him unstimulated and bored. This depressive hedonia, a paradox where excess breeds dissatisfaction, reveals a man trapped in his own shiny facade. He confesses his violent fantasies to those around him, yet they dismiss them as mere fantasy, uninterested in the truth beneath his polished exterior. Oblivion and Chaos. Patrick Bateman exists in a world teetering on the edge of sanity, where confessions of his heinous actions fall on deaf ears. Whether he's sharing his twisted fantasies with Helga, who's too preoccupied with her work, or casually admitting to murders in conversation over lunch, everyone around him remains oblivious. Dinner with Evelyn is no different. She misinterprets his attempt at confession for musings about marriage, further underlining the shallow interactions of their relationship. His social facade seems rehearsed, devoid of genuine connection. Even when spontaneity finds its way into their routine, as when Bateman persuades Evelyn to skip her Christmas party, her focus remains on superficial concerns rather than the serious issues underlying their lives. His violence escalates alarmingly, mirrored by an environment that's equally preoccupied with trivial matters. From torturing a small dog after a parade to a failed murder attempt on Louise Carruthers, mistaken as a romantic advance, Bateman's actions are increasingly erratic. This insanity reaches a peak when he brutally takes revenge on his work rival, Paul Owens. In a chilling scene, he leads Paul to his newspaper-strewn apartment and strikes with an axe, before calmly taking steps to erase traces of the act. Later, amidst his violence, Bateman shows an unexpected but capricious mercy by sending a model away, fearing he might harm her. Every interaction is steeped in a society where appearances and materialism hold sway, blinding individuals to horrific truths. Bateman's world buzzes with endless chatter about fashion and dining, leaving no room for meaningful listening or understanding. Evelyn, obsessed with her own aspirations, epitomizes this disconnect, neither grasping the gravity of Bateman's confessions nor acknowledging his desperate attempts to communicate. Even Bateman, while seemingly attentive to his wife, is psychologically distant, his thoughts wandering to past or future atrocities, or losing themselves in rock lyrics. Caught in a cycle of violence and denial, Bateman's increasingly frequent psychotic breaks reveal a man unraveling from reality. The surface-level conversations surrounding him serve as dark satire, critiquing a culture so engrossed in the mundane that it becomes blind to madness. In this world, where everyone wears a mask, Patrick Bateman's despairing cries for help go unnoticed, swallowed by an environment that remains indifferent, driven by self-absorption and hollow pursuits. A descent into madness. Wandering through the city's streets, lost in a haze of drugs and sweat, Bateman's summer is a blur of chaos. His once calm demeanor is beginning to crumble, revealing a terrifying side that is as violent as it is uncontrollable. The duality of his existence is evident as he reconnects with Bethany, a former flame. Their meeting goes horribly awry when jealousy consumes him, leading to an appalling crime that unfolds with brutal intensity in his apartment. When Detective visits Bateman regarding Paul Owen, he effortlessly deflects suspicion by crafting tales as deceptive as his own facade of normalcy. Even as he fends off Louise's unexpected declarations of love, he seems desperate to grasp any sense of reality. Seeking redemption, he invites Jean, his secretary, to dinner. Yet, as they navigate a mishap involving a stolen restaurant reservation, genuine romantic feelings surface, unsettling him deeply and causing him to back away from the moment. His brief escape to the Hamptons with Evelyn in tow is marked by bizarre acts that inadvertently reflect his deteriorating mental health. Bateman's attempts at normalcy grow increasingly futile as his actions morph from quirky escapades to horrific violence. He lures Christie and Elizabeth to his home, orchestrating a ghastly scenario that ends with their deaths. His horrific path continues with a trail of destruction, a child at the zoo, more victims within his apartment, each more gruesome.
As American Psycho draws to a close, the sinister tale that unfolds leaves readers grappling with the stark realities of excess and the insatiable void within Patrick Bateman. This book serves as a haunting critique of a world where human interactions are as transactional as stock trades, and where violence is an escape from the despair of unfulfilled desires. Through Bateman's unraveling sanity, Ellis holds a mirror to an age defined by soulless consumerism and shallow societal bonds. The stark reality is clear: in a world beset by greed, the lines between reality and madness blur, leading to a chilling reflection on the human condition. Ultimately, American Psycho is not merely a narrative about a deranged individual, but rather a poignant, albeit disturbing, depiction of the underlying malaise of a culture consumed by its own hedonistic excesses and existential void.